All right, Daytona Beach makes it in the top 10 spot for retirees to move to in 2024, coming in at number 8. Let's talk about it. Let's figure out how we got there, what there is to do in Daytona, and why you should move to Daytona. So yes, this channel is living in New Smyrna Beach, Florida, but we are only 20 minutes south of Daytona Beach on the east coast of Florida, and we're in Daytona all the time. We love Daytona, and we found this report and just wanted to tell you about it. If you don't have the time to be reading and researching and all these things, this is what this video is here for, to give you a little bit of information and insight of what's going on. If you're local here in the area, what's going on, and if you're looking to move to the Daytona Beach area, Florida, here is a quick little synopsis of the whole report for you. So let's get to it. First, let's go over how we got the rankings for the best places for retirees to move to. So the U.S. News and World Report came up with the rankings based on a system of overall retirement scores, and they calculated these for each of the 150 top metro areas in the United States. So the overall retirement scores were weighted on an average of 6 indexes. So they surveyed 150 metropolitan areas, came up with an average of 6 indexes that are going to be weighted to determine the overall score of the best places to move to as a retiree. So these 6 indexes are coming in at number 1, affordability index, happiness index, healthcare quality index, retirement or retiree taxes index, desirability index, and the job market index. So these are the 6 indexes that they compiled together. They put weights on them. Again, the affordability index coming in at number 1, and they did the survey, calculated everything up, and Daytona Beach came in out of the wash at number 8. So before we get into why Daytona coming in at number 8, who beat us out? So number 1 coming in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, followed by 5 other towns in Pennsylvania. So Pennsylvania is the retiree hotspot, capital of the United States right now, it appears to be. Followed that up by New York City, New York, and number 8 coming in at Daytona Beach. So I've never been to Pennsylvania at all ever, but if there's 5 places that should be retired to, I might make the trip now just to check it out. Quick stats on Daytona Beach. The metropolitan area is quoted at having 662,671 people as the overall population. I have some discrepancies with this, living here and being local, and I did do a quick Google search, and if it's on the internet, it must be true. So the Census Bureau is saying in 2022, there was a population in Volusia County as a whole, which is the county that Daytona Beach is located in, has a population of 579,192 people. So that's the entire county of Volusia County, which Daytona Beach, the city, is located in. And according to the U.S. News and World, the U.S. Report and News, you know what I'm trying to say, according to the U.S. Report and World News, the population for them is showing 662,000 plus people. So I'm not sure if they are accounting for tourists and the uptick for snowbird seasons or people coming in with second homes or vacation rentals on why that population discrepancy is there. It definitely could be linking to that, and also if they're just including all of Volusia County as the Daytona Beach metropolitan area. It did not give me a radius on how big they went out. So if you are looking up the area, you will see Daytona Beach's population proper is much smaller than that 662,000 people. So just some food for thought there. The median home price is $375,000. Monthly rent average is about $1,200. I think that's a little bit low too. We're seeing things closer to the $1,500 to $1,700 price range. But again, it's not giving me stats on is this a 1-bedroom, 1-bath or a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So a lot of other variables to consider. If you're wanting more detailed information, you can reach out to us directly. We'd be happy to get it for you. Average salary in Daytona Beach is $44,620, which is going to be lower than the national average. And our unemployment rate is 7.8%. So talking about home values, the national average home cost is $383,000, and Daytona Beach is coming in at $375,000. So again, this was the #1 ranking for that index out of the 6, and that was the affordability index. So that was the most heavily rated, is that our affordability in the Daytona Beach area is basically ranking in the top 10 of the United States. So we're a little bit more affordable as far as housing goes, coming in that $375,000 number. And then what is the overall cost of living in Daytona Beach? So we actually did a separate video on that, the cost of just living in the New Smyrna Daytona Beach area. You can click here to check out that video to get a little bit better price breakdown on what that looks like. But overall, we do have, I would say, a pretty good affordability here on just a general cost of living. This is based on my experience on traveling to other bigger cities and other states in the United States. But our everyday cost is, again, going to be nationally, on the national average, it's going to be slightly lower than what you're seeing across the nation. And this is going to take into account for such things as utilities and just your everyday groceries and just day-to-day things that you're going to need. Also, something they factored in with this as well is that we don't have to pay a state income tax in Florida, which definitely helps with that affordability index. Keep in mind though that the average salary is going to be lower than the national average, coming in at that $44,000. So getting around, we do have a relatively decent infrastructure here. I think it's not the greatest in the world, but if you're comparing that to coming from like a big city where you have subways and other like readily available transportation, you may find it a little bit slower to get around if you're waiting for buses and Ubers. Especially if you're going from like Daytona to New Smyrna or Daytona to DeLand or other like cities that are going to be about 20 minutes away. It's going to take you a little bit longer to get an Uber that's going to actually be able to take you to get you there. Geographically, Volusia County as a whole is a pretty large chunk of land. So to get you from one end of Volusia County all the way to the other end can be a 45 to 50-minute drive, and that's with good traffic. So just kind of taking those things into consideration. But we do have a Greyhound bus system. We have Volusia County Transportation, which is going to be, we call it the VOTRAN. I have the buses to take you around. Daytona Beach, you're about 30 minutes from the Amtrak train station. You have the Daytona Beach International Airport. You're about an hour from the Orlando International Airport. You're really close to interstate, so you're going to be close to I-95 and I-4 as well. So we are really centrally located in that aspect of being able to get quickly to other places if you're trying to travel by air or train to go further than that. So most people around here though do just have their own vehicles and aren't reliant super heavily on public transportation as a whole. So things to do, the important things, the fun things. You're retired, you're made it this far in your journey of life, and it's time to, you basically earned your ranks to be able to just go out and have fun now. So Daytona Beacher is something always going on. The report noted having NASCAR being here. Daytona Beach area is really known for its fishing and golfing as well. But more importantly than that, just because of its location, Daytona Beach is famously known for its race week, bike week. We have Jeep Beach Week now. We are always having some sort of concert or event happening in the Daytona Beach area. Not so much spring break anymore. Daytona Beach kind of put the kibosh to that, and the spring breakers are now finding themselves in the panhandle of Florida. And if you're not looking to do stuff like bike week and race week and all that things, there's always some sort of art venue going on. There's museums, there's concerts. The Peabody Auditorium is located in Daytona Beach as well, and you're gonna be able to find national headliners and really great shows. Just to name a few that are coming up, we've got the Nutcracker, Book of Mormon, Three Dog Night, one of my favorite comedians, Joe Coy, who is still a national headliner, tours everywhere, Gladys Knight, she's a tremendous act, and Jefferson Starship. They're actually going to be here in February. So as far as living goes, Daytona Beach, Florida offers a lot of different living options. So you have your single family residence, you have HOA communities, you have townhomes, you can live direct ocean, you can be on the river. Lots of different options for you. Again, the national home average is going to be $375,000. You can go lower than that, and you definitely can go higher than that, especially if you're looking on the higher end things like the homes on the ocean and rivers. One great community that we have, and just to kind of show for the overall sustainability of the Daytona Beach, Florida area, is that we do have the big developers that are still here. They're still betting on Daytona Beach and Florida as a whole for the economy. So that's something to really take into account and consider. If the developers are still here, that means there's still a strong enough economy, and they're still projecting that the Florida economy is going to maintain over the next years. So one of the biggest developers right now is Mentos, and that's going to be the one of my favorites, Margaritaville community. It is a 55+ community. It's a pretty inclusive community, so if you don't really want to leave, you don't have to. They have bars and restaurants. They have a resort-like swimming pool with cabanas. They have pool parties. They have all the fun things you could ever imagine. And they just sold 2,875 basically home slots or residences that are supposed to be built out in 2024. So again, that number is 2,875 homes that they have sold in 2023 as of November 10th. They have not started to build those yet. They're planning on slating those out to build in 2024. So it's just something for you to kind of consider, that there's still a lot of development going on. If you're not a Jimmy Buffett style kind of person, there are lots of other HOA neighborhoods. The Jimmy Buffett neighborhood, Margaritaville, boasts there's no CDDs, and they have low HOAs and homes starting in the 300,000. So just a little tidbit there on that. If you guys are looking for anything in particular, information on moving to the Daytona Beach area, or if you live here and you're just looking for other information on things to do, real estate related questions or whatever it is, please reach out to us. We're happy to help. White Whale Real Estate, we are local, myself, my team, my business partner, and we're here to help out in any way that we can. So hope you guys have a great holiday season and see you in next week's video.